So welcome to lesson 4, where we'll be looking at string indexing and manipulation. So string indexing is quite important. To understand how strings can be manipulated is a crucial part of understanding Python programming, because when you'll be reading in data, for example, an Excel data set, CSV file, a lot of the times you'll be dealing with strings. So it's important to understand how to use them. And there's actually a lot of similarities between strings and lists as well. So lists we've covered before. So you'll see quite a lot of similarities between the two. So let's first look at a few concepts. So one of the things you might have seen is you can either surround a variable, string variable, with single quotes, quotation marks or double quotation marks. I prefer double quotation marks just to be more consistent. And for example, we can assign it to a summer school variable, or a variable that has summer school in it. So I can create a variable called string1, have a variable of the text being summer school, double quotes. You can also have single quotes as well, but again, just for consistency, stick to the double quotes. In other programming languages, single characters like the letter B or the number 4 in terms of text are actually referred to as a separate data type known as a char or character data type. But in Python, it's still considered a string. It's just of length 1. And similarly with lists, or like a list, we can also access string characters or letters using the same indexing method we use with lists. So for example, string 2, we can access 0. String 1, we can access all the values. This is, again, 0 to 4. Remember, it's not the 4th index, it's the 1 minus that one. So it's 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Right? So it should be sum, and that's sum with the E, right? Minus 1 is just the last value. Okay. This should be familiar with you because you've done this with lists already. And again, note that the 4 does not include the 4th index, but the previous one. And yeah, so this should be quite straightforward to you. And another feature we kind of touched on in the first lesson is concatenating or adding strings together. And we do this just by using a plus sign. So we can say string 1 plus string 2. We can add them together in various ways. We can also use a length function to get the length of the string as well. And that's quite useful. We can also mine or filter certain data using built-in functions for strings. So for example, if you have maybe a string that says, welcome, comma, summer school, 1000, and you print it, you get this. But let's say, you want to split it up based on the comma. You can do that just by using split and defining how you want to split it or what delimiter you want to use, which is just the marking that Python looks for to split things up. So you can see how it splits it up in different ways. You can, if it can be a semicolon, it can be a space, it can be a dash. And this is really important when you're reading in data. Usually a CSV file might be split with commas, so you can split with commas and you can get that data. Right, there's some built-in functions we can use with strings as well. We can make things lowercase, uppercase. We can replace certain letters as well. There's other features or functions of strings, like you can count certain letters. You can check if it starts with a certain character. Is it a numeric character? All these things, right? So a quick lesson, but I think if you're used to lists, then strings are quite straightforward as well. So this is the end of this lesson.